At Five Star Bank, community is at the heart of what we do. Every day we strive to have thoughtful solutions for our customers and help our communities prosper. Honest dialogue about the issues affecting the region is vitally important to that prosperity. We are proud to be part of the conversation and hope you'll join in.
At the heart of a thriving economy is a strong base of entrepreneurs. They're the small business owners and the owners of developing companies on the verge of major growth. Rising home prices, new business openings, and the employment scene slowly coming to life are all signs that the worst days of our economy are behind us. Or are they? A new question on many minds is how we turn a modest recovery into a robust climate for prosperity. Joining us today in partnership with the American Leadership Forum are three entrepreneurs from very different vantage points in our economy. Vikram Janardhan, CEO of Insera Therapeutics. Griselda Barajas, President and CEO, Griselda's Catering and Event Planning. And Warren Smith, President, Sacramento Republic Football Club. So, are we recovering, Vikram?
Slow but sure recovery. And there are several things that we can put in place to ensure that the recovery is speeding up.
Like what? What should we be doing?
You know, I run a technology company, and so I speak from that angle. I think if we foster technology innovation and encourage our youth to be creative, come up with ideas, they can start their own company that leads to job growth, and we could do it all right here. We have the infrastructure that this technology companies need to build, sustain, and grow successful organization.
Right. You know, there's a couple of catalysts that kind of come along the way to create that sort of environment. And Griselda, I always consider food and entertainment to sort of be the canary in the cave. And so when people start to go out to restaurants, when they start to actually enjoy themselves and step out of their homes, I always see that as kind of a sign that confidence is coming back because people feel confident enough to come out. What are you seeing?
I am seeing that people enjoy now the experience of having someone who's going to be able to take care of their needs and not worry about so much about, you know, oh my God, you know, am I going to have a job tomorrow? Or that confidence is starting to come back. So that's very important to us, that people are trusting us again in the economy to have that experience of enjoying an evening out and not worrying so much about tomorrow. And so that builds confidence in everyone. And it's good for all of us in our community.
And Warren, your business right now is professional soccer, which is another destination recreation sort of activity.
Right.
You're stepping out right now in bringing professional soccer to town. What gave you the confidence to make this move at this moment?
Well, first of all, I mean, Sacramento's got a really good foundation. As much as we've gone through some challenges, we, from an entertainment standpoint, we do get out. We actually do support. In fact, if you look at both the River Cats and the Kings, both have led in attendance in their leagues, and we have a sport that's really the world sport. So it made you know, all the sense in the world to actually roll this out now, pre-World Cup next year, and to, you know, essentially try to get to Major League Soccer, which is our goal. And frankly, you know, we're amazed at how much support we are getting. If there's a recovery issue or there's a market issue, we're not seeing it. We've got over 2,000 season tickets that we've already sold to date.
And when did you get started?
We just rolled those out 6 weeks ago, and that's it. That's really with only people that have been following us. We're not even out to the general public yet. So it's either the support for the sport in general or the fact that people want to do more in our community, or we're not sure, but we're very excited about the success that we're having today.
You know, I hear the optimism in your voice, and entrepreneurs are usually pretty optimistic. Does it take a certain type of personality in order to be an entrepreneur?
You know, I sometimes joke that entrepreneurs are a mutant of the human species. You know, we see a better future ahead of others, you know, and we're determined to get the rest of society there. So every region needs entrepreneurs. You need people who are hopelessly optimistic, that can see that better future and strive relentlessly to get us there.
Right, but going out and taking those risks, and all of you have been serial entrepreneurs. In fact, in many ways, you all just keep reinventing yourselves over and over again. But what, in your case, Griselda, what gave you the push to get started in the beginning?
Well, it was my mother. My mother, who had a great concept, who had a great recipe, but couldn't take it to that next level. I was naive. And
How old were you at the time?
18 years old when I started my business. I mean, most people at 18 years old, you know, are still trying to figure it out. I already had a sense of what I needed to do and felt, okay, this is what I have to do, and I need to help my family go to the next level.
Tell us your story. Tell us the story.
Well, my story is my parents came here from Houston, Texas. We had a very great role model. Her name was Nifa Lorenzo. It was one of those individuals that we met when we moved to Houston, Texas. She was very successful, a single mother of 8 children. You know, her husband died in the Army, and so she went on and opened about over 50 restaurants in Texas.
Wow.
And so when I saw that in an individual who was so close to us and who was always mentoring me and my family, I always felt that it was possible. And the thing about it is that I never saw her complain. You saw the enthusiasm she woke up with, and every moment there was enthusiasm in everything she did. And I really wanted to be part of that. I wanted to be part of enjoying everything that I did, from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep.
And when you got started, how did you finance your first business?
I financed my business through credit cards. No one would give me a loan.
So that was your venture capital.
That was my venture capital. You know, apply as many credit cards, pay one off, and then use the other one to pay the other one off. And it was a cycle. It was a vicious cycle to try to carry a business that I had no idea what it was all about. But I did understand one thing, and that's what really helped me the best, was surrounding myself by people that knew the other things and not being afraid that I didn't know it all, and making sure that I got the right CPA, that I got the right banker, and built little by little those relationships, because you know, it's one of those that you're going to, even though my banker didn't give me a business loan, I didn't hold it against them. I didn't take it personally.
You went back again.
I went back again, you know, and I don't know how to take no for an answer. And I knew no was never going to
How
kill me.
important is that, Warren, in being a successful entrepreneur?
It's everything. It's everything, because there are so many roadblocks that are thrown to you on a daily basis. It's so easy to give up. And I think, you know, back to Vikram's point, it really takes a certain personality to say, hey, that's just a challenge. We'll get around it. We'll move on and find a solution. And
now, this is not your first rodeo, to use another sort of sport analogy, in launching this professional soccer team.
Yeah.
You were in the leadership of bringing the River Cats to town. And I know that there was a lot of scoffing that baseball could ever come to Sacramento. What made you know that it was going to happen and that it was possible when all of the people on the side were saying it'll never work?
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's all data. I mean, Sacramento is the largest community in the country without any professional baseball, and yet it was, you know, at the time the #2 sport in the country, and we've been known as a baseball town forever. I mean, there's a long history, and it was really just solving a problem that ultimately would allow us to actually locate a team, and that was building a facility. So we embarked on an effort to actually get, you know, people behind our effort, and we're fortunate that Raley's decided to invest and put their name on the facility, and that led to, you know, ultimately the public-private partnership, which has really never been done in our community. The County of Sacramento crossed lines to help the city of West Sacramento and the county of Yolo to finance this project. But it was really just getting out in front of people, getting people supportive of your ideas and concept, and asking them to work together and you know, overcoming each challenge as they came in front of you.
Now, you've done this in different venues. You've done sports.
Yep.
You've done clean energy.
Yep.
With founding
Clean World
Partners.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that that sort of makes you gravitate to an idea?
Well, gosh, I love this community and I want more for all of us. And I know we want more for ourselves. And I'm just one of those people that I'm a salesman by trade and had a lot of success in technology. And frankly, I just use those skills to actually help the community. And frankly, I'm not sure. Clean World was really an opportunity that came to me at a time where I'd left the River Cats and was seeking something to be passionate about. And I'd bought a Prius and I thought I was going to save the world. And frankly, I was very excited to actually to form a technology company that ultimately is now successful. And thanks to Michelle Wong.
Warren, you're self-effacing to a fault, but his story is the perfect definition of leadership. It's incredible. And I see leadership as...
How so?
It's the creation, my definition of leadership is the creation of a better future that simply would not have happened without you. And you listen to Warren and Griselda, they picked, they had a vision for the future and they just went after it. You face your fear and you do it anyway. That's the definition of true leadership.
Well, you want to talk about facing fear. Your company in Sarah, it has a stroke technology, and you're going through the FDA approval process.
Correct.
And if ever I've seen something that makes executives in medical and biotech firms quake, it's going through that process. So tell us about your own facing of fear with regards to your journey.
Sure. Allow me to take you back to early 2007. I was a president of a company called Global Energy Software. We're in the midst of selling this company to private equity. My brother is a Harvard-trained interventional neurologist, invites me to a conference. We're talking about strokes, which I learned is when you have a clot in the brain or your brain vessels rupture. And he showed me the surgical devices of the day, and in jest, I picked up 2 or 3 of them and I said, I think we can do better than this. And he paused and he said, you should do better than this. Start a company and I'll help you. And one thing led to another.
Just that easy.
And the other personal motivation was both my brother and I lost 3 out of 4 grandparents to stroke. And nobody wants to lead a mediocre life and just kind of go through the motions. And we knew this was way outside our comfort zone, but we said, we got to do this. Yeah. We got to make a difference here. So within 48 hours, I had picked a name for the company and incorporated it, and we got cracking, and here we are. We're completing clinical trials.
Griselda, the commonality is it seems like that entrepreneurs have like an itch that they've just got to scratch.
Yes.
And that there's something that forces them to go beyond just being complacent with the status quo. What do you think that is?
It's always wanting to get better. I always want to go to the next step, and not settling just there. For me, and we talk about diversity, but do we really believe in diversity? Do we really? And that's where I have to ask myself, and that's where I constantly challenge myself. I have to ask at the end of the day, in the beginning of the day, I ask myself, did I do better? Could I do more? Could I do more? And then the fact that I know that I have the talent to do more, and I have a team, I just want to do more.
How do you put that in to young people, though? If we're trying to sort of create opportunities for young people to be the next Griselda, what are the ingredients you think that we need to have in order to give someone else, some other young person, the platform to move like you have?
There's 2 things I ask them.
Okay.
Go and shadow somebody that, if you're interested in cooking, go shadow them for a while. Give your time and really learn if that's something you're going to love doing. Because once you learn what you want to do and you love it, it's not a job. Right. It's a passion. And this is something that makes us look into the next thing and how do we share and make everyone else enjoy it.
Do you think, that's an interesting point. Do you all think that people follow their passions enough? Because that does seem to be the critical thing that gets an entrepreneur through the tough times.
Go ahead, please.
Not often enough, yeah. I would say. Within each one of us is an authentic version of ourselves. Yep. That is our true potential. Yep. And I think entrepreneurs, we find that place within ourselves where nothing is impossible. That's right. You know, and but that is deep within us, and it's buried in many people in self-doubt and fear and concern and loss of stability of a job and things like that. Just let go of all of that. You know, just go out there. If you believe in something, pursue your passion, and you'll see that the universe realigns itself to make your dream come true. You just have to trust the process.
I'd have to agree that I think that so many of us tend to think that we can't because maybe we've been told no too many times in our life and not earn the yeses in our life. And you know, it's so easy to say yes, or it's so easy to say no, so difficult to say yes. But once you learn to say yes, it's a lot easier to live your life, from my perspective. And from an entrepreneur perspective, you know, back to the children, you know, what we all do in some way or another is we developed, you know, critical thinking, as you have, and you know, you're ultimately always solving a problem, and so you learn that through education, you learn that through School of Hard Knocks, but ultimately, hopefully, people put themselves in a place where they can actually challenge their mind a little bit and get out of their comfort zone.
How important, from your perspectives, is entrepreneurship in creating greater prosperity in this region?
If I may, real quickly, I think it's our biggest challenge in the Sacramento region. I mean,
really?
I think that while we've had some success, mainly from individuals that have moved from other parts of the state and coming to our great place, who have had, you know, some entrepreneurial success, we still don't really have the entrepreneurial foundation that I think we need. You know, for instance, a lot of the financing's outside of the region. A lot of the ideas are outside of the region, and you know, but I mean, it's jobs. So if you look at successful companies, whether it be Apple or Google or whatever, I mean, they started with an idea, two people in a garage that wouldn't give up, but it ultimately led to a lot of jobs, right? So we need that in our region. With not one Fortune 500 company here, we ultimately need a lot more of the smaller companies to fulfill that gap.
You know, we have all of the right building blocks.
Yep.
We've got a fabulous universities here, Sac State, UC Davis, Drexel University. You've got nonprofits like SARTA, whose only job is to make an entrepreneur succeed. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got the cost of living is great. It's a fabulous place to raise a family. So you've got all these building blocks. And what I would say to the youth is just kind of, if inside of you there's an entrepreneur aching for expression, give it voice. Get out there, let go of your fears. And you made a terrific point. Shadow another entrepreneur who's done that. If you're getting into technology or you're getting into the services industry, find them, reach out to them, cold call them, send an email, never give up, and it'll pay huge dividends.
Your story really resonates with me because virtually every important thing in my life has come from what I've been willing to do for free and not really expect anything in return in apprenticing myself to someone else who I admired. And there doesn't seem to be, I don't know if that's something that we teach young people anymore, to apprentice yourself and to find someone who you admire and get out there and just learn, not looking for if you can get compensation, great. If you can negotiate, well, good. But get the experience.
Mm-hmm. The experience is so valuable. And what I learned when I was networking was that everybody in the room was just a scare. Whether you were a new entrepreneur or you've been in the business a long time, it is a scary area. But the nice thing about it is that it's even better when you're asking and you're having to take their experience and applying it. And so that always helped me in my business. The other thing about we got to think about, how do we keep our young talent here in Sacramento? If we're undiversified and we don't have opportunities for them, they're going to go somewhere else. And that's huge for our community. And that's what we really, as entrepreneurs, I think that we really can do a big part of making sure that our talent stays here in Sacramento. Because I want my kids to find Sacramento to be not just a place of a safe community, but also a place where there's lots of opportunities and that is exciting for them. And keep our talent here because it benefits everybody here in Sacramento.
What made you comfortable with taking risk? One thing, and I'm asking that question not just of you, Griselda, but all of you, because it is commonly said this is a government town.
Yes.
Government is typically risk adverse, and some say that kind of notion permeates everything. You three are risk takers, and risk, at least historically, in some quarters is a bad word. How do you learn to take risk?
For me, it was understanding two things. One, that I didn't know it all, and two, to have lots of courage. Have courage to face whatever it was. I don't have a crystal ball, but it was okay. I had to tell myself, I have faith in God. God is with me, and He knows the destiny. I don't know the plan. He has the plan. But I have to be able to have enough trust in Him to say, "Oh, be fine, whatever it is," and continue to surround myself by great people.
I'm not sure that I would be the right person to actually talk about risk, and because my wife thinks I'm crazy, but I just learned at a very early age, to put myself in situations that were uncomfortable, my first job out of college was sales, and I didn't know.
What is it about being in a situation that's uncomfortable that's part of learning how to deal with risk?
Well, I think all risk is uncomfortable to some extent, right? But after you learn to be in that environment, you learn to actually mitigate risk, and you mitigate risk every day. You actually ascertain where you are in your plan, where from an engineering perspective to a financing perspective, so you're always analyzing in the back of your mind, but you're always keeping the end goal out there for yourself, and that sunny day that you're really trying to get to. And you just learn to deal with it. I can't describe it. It just.
I guess what I'm looking for is for a person who's standing on the sidelines and says, I really want to follow this passion, to live this authentic life, but risk is paralyzing me. How do they get off the ledge?
What I would say is you have to believe that we're all here on earth for a specific purpose. We have unique talents that no one else has. You have to believe that. I know I'm here on earth to leverage technology for the betterment of society. That's what I'm here to do, and I'm trying to do it. And what I would tell somebody that is on the edge is align yourself with something much bigger than yourself. And that is the only way for your true potential to blossom. Start at a different place. Don't start at the place where you're staring at fear and you're concerned about all of the things that could go wrong. Don't start there. Start at a completely different place. Align yourself with something much bigger than yourself, and you will see that you get that self-confidence and courage to take on what is seemingly impossible. You will get that strength.
Who inspired you? Who did you look at? Griselda talks about role models. Who did you look to and say, wow, I can be like them?
My grandfather was a successful lawyer and partner in pre-independence India, and he met Mahatma Gandhi at a speech and was mesmerized by his message of nonviolence to end British colonial rule, that literally at that conference he decided to quit his job and devote his time pro bono for the rest of his life to an independence for India. Just an incredibly inspiring story. And so I try to leverage that. I like being an engineer. I'm a technologist. And I lost 3 out of 4 grandparents to stroke. So it was fairly straightforward for my brother and I in 2007 to say, he's a physician, I'm an engineer. Stroke is an insidious and deadly disease. Let's do something about this. We don't know where this will lead us. We have no idea of the number of risks that we have to take. And getting regulatory approvals and such seem like a daunting task. But the big thing is when you align yourself with something bigger, there's a part within you that transcends doubt.
Right.
We're going to make it work.
And when it does, what does it feel like on the other side, Warren? Like when you drive past River Cats Stadium, what comes into your mind?
I look at it 2 viewpoints. When we first accomplished the goal and opened the first night, it was wonderful to sit there and just to see everybody just have a good time, And when I drive by it, I'm not that emotional. It's kind of neat. I thought I'd be more emotional about it. It's really nice to have played a role. But what does drive me is the fact that I got some letters while I was there. One from a grandson who was away from his grandparents, but for some reason his grandfather asked him to come out to a River Cats game, and he unfortunately lost his grandfather almost right after that. But so the story sticks with me because it was a tool that actually helped him reconnect with his family, and he was so thankful for that. So those are the things that I try to look at, because it needs to be bigger. It needs to be bigger than making money. It needs to be bigger than having a nice position. It's all about what can you do to actually make this world a better place to live, work, and play.
And I think that that's the last word and the appropriate place to leave it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's our show. Thanks to our guests, and thanks to you for watching. For Studio Sacramento, I'm Scott Syfax. See you next time right here on KVIE.
At Five Star Bank, community is at the heart of what we do. Every day we strive to have thoughtful solutions for our customers and help our communities prosper. Honest dialogue about the issues affecting the region is vitally important to that prosperity. We are proud to be part of the conversation and hope you'll join in.
All episodes of Studio Sacramento, along with other KVIE programs, are available to watch online at kvie.org/video.